Morning. I see your question here about the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model, and its relationship with rising stock prices during these talks of vaccines for COVID-19. So the first thing I'd mention is, I invest on a daily basis. I'm very familiar with the market. I follow it constantly. And one thing that I've learned through the years is the market is not about now. The market is about going forward. Okay. So when there's talk about when stock prices rise about following talks of vaccine for COVID-19. Again, it's about potential. It's about what could be, because if that vaccine becomes available, what you're basically doing is you're opening a lot of these closed companies and increasing the capacity. I mean, there's some restaurants now only at 25% capacity, and airlines are probably not even at 50%. So when you bring that vaccine available, you're increasing the capacity. When you increase the capacity for potential customers and you're increasing the size of that base, then what you're doing is you're now talking about possibly increasing your profitability. So every time you hear the vaccine talk, even if it's, say there's three stages, even though there's, I think, stage one, nobody's even gotten near stage two yet, the stock market's going to go up on that potential. All right. I disagree with the second part. They fall when the number of cases spike higher. This whole week, right? Just look at this week. It's now June 23rd. Cases have been spiking for a good week now. Go look at the market. It's been up almost every day. The Nasdaq's at record highs. Apple's at record highs. So I don't agree with that, because there are other factors than just COVID-19. Okay. So some companies are actually prospering from COVID-19. Not all companies do well when there's talk of a vaccine, right? So when a vaccine comes, companies like Slack, Zoom, DocuSign, okay, and I'm probably missing one or two, maybe even Amazon. They won't do better in an environment without COVID-19. Now, Amazon will probably always do good, but the fact of the matter is they've been a huge beneficiary of us being shut down. So that's kind of a generalized statement. So I don't know if your teacher worded that or not, but that like I said, just go look at the past week. That's not always true. There are many factors in the market. So the market is a discount mechanism. It looks at everything, but more importantly, it looks at the future. When you release an earnings report, they're concerned about what your guidance is more than just about what you did last quarter. And how the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model factors into this. Well, yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head right there when you said it is not a variable in the model, and that is true. But there's been no denying that a rising stock market tends to correlate also with a rising GDP, because, again, we're seeing that if there's a vaccine and then there's the possibility that we could have more reopenings, we could increase our capacity for customers and consumers in all of these places, that's going to help aggregate demand. It will also help short run aggregate supply, right? Because a lot of companies' plants are closed and they're in all parts of the world, and not all of them are allowed to be open. I know Apple just announced they are going to have to close some plants. So if you get the vaccine available, you're going to shift AD right. You're also going to shift short run aggregate supply right. And when you shift both of those right, that it's indeterminate about the price level, but the real GDP rises. Okay. So that pretty much covers everything there. I hope that was helpful in the explanation, and good luck.